So what's life? And which side am I? I feel great. I feel light, alright.
Yo, welcome back to the channel. This Swift D here. This is my nephew right here. So it's always good to prioritize health. So what we're doing today is we walking 12,000 steps, getting our walk in. We're gonna be looking for sounds for Nat-ure Average. So, you know, all the abstract sounds that we could turn into snares, 808s, hi-hats, all those things. And this is a great place for all producers, all creatives to take in new ideas. So follow us as we take this journey. I hope y'all enjoy this. Let's get it.
In situations I just don't believe in. Oh me, man, God, I'm blessed cause it's all mine.
What's going on, y'all? So we in Culver City, California right now, taking this walk. And it's a lot of sounds right now, so you know my producer brain is kind of wired. I opted not to bring any headphones today, just because, like I said, the producer side in me, I hear many things that I can turn into drums, turn into melodies. You know, that's the basis of this whole thing, is not block your sound out with, you know, things that you like to listen to, you know, elevate this walk. You know, sound has no limits. That's what I'm trying to display out here. Hopefully, you know, I can find some cool sounds. I've never really done it like this before. But at the same time, man, I'm 20 years in the game. I've been doing this for a long time. So, and if you watch any of my other episodes, you know, I could pretty much turn anything into a jam. So during this trip, I promise I'm gonna challenge myself quite a bit. I'm gonna try to take the most abstract things and try to manipulate them into something of everyday use. I hope y'all have fun. How you doing? Hope y'all have fun watching this as I do creating it for you, because, man, this is gonna be so fun. I'm excited. It's so hot out here right now. You know, they said it's supposed to be 90 degrees, so I wanted to get out here super early and get it done. So, yeah, man, just walk with us. It's gonna be fun. I think I just found my first sound. I don't know what this is on the other side of this gate, but if you can hear that, I gotta get that. I gotta capture that. I personally already know what I'm gonna do with it, but you know, it could be tricky, so we'll just see. This is the Zoom H1 Essential. This is what I use a lot to capture the sounds. There's really good audio quality. 32-bit float. Everybody who knows 32-bit, they know how efficient this is. So I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna put this wind muff on it. Maybe not, I don't know, but we're gonna capture both and just see which one works best. All right, let's do it. Gotcha. All right, that's one sound out the books. That's easy work. That's easy work. Like I said, I already know what I'm gonna do with that. So bear with us. We're gonna get a lot more sounds, a lot more cooler sounds. And you know, we got a long way to go. So I'm sure the sounds are gonna get crazy. They're gonna get way more intense. And we're gonna batch it up and piece it together a little later on, turn it into a jam, all right? Let's do it. All right, so what's the non-negotiables, right? What's the no-nos? What's the things that we don't want to do? The average car sound, we don't want that. Tire squeaks, I would do that. I would do that if I can capture it. But for the most part, we want stuff that people wouldn't even think of. Like this woman was right here roller skating. I might ask her to get her skates. Let's see, you think I should do it? What y'all think? You think I should do it? All right, I'm gonna ask her. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, plan failed. I was actually trying to get her roller skates. You know, it happens like that. You know, not everybody is always on board. I think I just found something. Look at my boy down there. Should I go ask him? Let me go get that real quick. All right, thank you. Yeah, can I just get this sound real quick? Can you like rev it up?
Yeah.
They're like, there we go. Thank you. That's two down. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have no idea how I'm gonna use that, but I'm gonna try my best to put that in the beat. I have no idea. It just looked cool, just trying something different. And yeah, here we are, trying to figure it out.
All right, so I just found a new sound. You go like this. So, you know, we might.
Let's get it one more time.
Up.
I'm about to ask him some questions real quick. Let me see what's popping. Oh. What's good? What's good? What's goody? So, I'm looking for some sounds. I'm trying to find something cool. I just want to know if y'all know any tips on how I can get this stuff done. No? My boy. We go way back like stocking caps and waves, my boy. All right. I see what y'all can do. I'll talk to y'all. I'll rap with y'all. All right, so I think we done found sound number 3, brought to you by my good boy right here. So what we gonna do, we're gonna turn this on, we're gonna get this sound, we're gonna get cracking.
I fucked up again. So you in a dream, we was playing in the sheets, sky was burning up.
All right, so I think we just found our next sound. I'm about to get it. And it's that little boy right down there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that either, but you know, that's the challenging part of it. I'm gonna try to figure this out. And you know, I had to get out of there quick, man. You know, black man standing behind a franchise like that. In Culver City, the ones who know, they'll get you. They will get you. So after all that walking, I felt like we deserved a break. Why did I walk into this place? Look at these donuts, man. They look so doggone good. The only thing I could think to do is to grab some sounds. Okay, cool.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we took a little break. Nephew got the swine donut right here. Tell him how it is.
It's good. You know, it's like crispy. But like, it's good though.
Is it crispy just because it got the bacon on it, or is it a crispy donut?
Crispy.
Yeah, I trust them. Can't really eat no swine, but it actually does look really good. And the other one that you got, what you get?
Butter and salt.
Whatever that is, that sound like it was pretty good too. I mean, everything in there looked fire, as y'all could see. Still on my little fast right now, so all I could do was a black coffee while I'm on my fast. I forgot to mention that, you know, I like to fast every morning. Do my 16-8. You know, I still got a little bit of time. I can't wait to eat. I'm starving as hell. But until then, I got my nice coffee. Give me a little extra fuel, you know, for the next part of this trip. I think on the way home, that's kind of when I go crazy and I grab a lot more sounds, but you know, it's gonna get interesting. Y'all stay tuned. But for right now, we're gonna finish our little snack. Well, he's gonna finish his snack, I'm gonna finish my coffee, and then we're gonna get back on our trail. All right, so we're about done. Now we about to head back. We done walked a couple miles already. I think we already at like almost 4 miles. So now we're about to head back. So that's gonna be about a good 7-8 mile hike after. So hopefully on the way back, we can capture some other sounds and make this complete.
I feel like this shows like how much sounds and life is in LA. It's not all just like the electronics and stuff. It's about what feels real to you. And so whatever feels real to you, that feels real to everybody else.
That's wise words from young Noe Jr. We on our way back. It's about 3 miles. And on the way back, let's see what else we can get. Now, we would have had a lot more sounds, but you know, I've already shot about 25 episodes. So, but on the way back, I'm probably gonna be walking in a few shops and just get 1 or 2 sounds. We'll see. So, all spontaneous though. There's nothing planned. So we'll see what I capture and just make it fun, you know? It's gonna be cool. It's a beautiful shop. It's a beautiful shop right here. All right, I think I'm good now. I heard you clipping the stems earlier.
Yeah.
So I had to just walk in that florist real quick, grab some sounds. Saw him cutting stems, it was beautiful. That's not the last one. I think I'm gonna surprise myself and walk in a few more before it's all said and done. Is there anything else that I should be tapping into?
So I go into that liquor store right there.
All right, that's good. Wasn't too much in there, you know, so I guess we just tap in, do something else. Look what we done stumbled across. Thank you.
While I'm sleeping my hand, drink the dope and I get cool as a fan. Turbo motor hot and scorching that friend. Bitch, you bogus if you don't break a friend.
So after that long 8-mile walk, I've officially made it home, and now it's time to make the beat. For those of you who are new here, I'm gonna take those sounds that I collected earlier, upload them in the FL Studio, and use those, turn them into a jam. Now usually I like to do this from my home studio where there's lots of speakers, lots of analog gear, really cozy aesthetic. But man, it's beautiful outside today. And you know, when I walked in my house, I saw the sun shining in my living room and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it right here. I'm gonna give y'all a dope experience from right here at my kitchen table. So to pull all this off, I got my MIDI keyboard right here just in case I wanna play a little bit. Of course, my laptop, beautiful Apollo Aero, and of course, this bad boy right here that got all the swag in it. A quick disclaimer, I'm gonna show you a lot of things, but I can't show you everything. Some things I gotta hold on to myself, you know, cause I got some things lined up, I got some things planned, so you know, I gotta hold on to a few things, but I promise I'm gonna make it worthwhile. Just bear with me, trust me. So let's identify our sounds. I got the blower, OSOF, which I like to call other side of the fence, candle box, power box, of course the printer, shade slam, shade wind, trash lock, and window shades. Now there are a few sounds in here that I wasn't able to get on camera because, disclaimer, people don't want me to film in their store, much respect. But they did allow me to get the sounds, so I do have them here for y'all. So what's the first thing I'm thinking? It's LA, it's West Coast, I'm taking a walk, it's beautiful outside, people are moving, people are flowing. I gotta make some West Coast vibes. So the objective here is to use the sounds that I got. Hopefully I can create something out of nothing. Let's start off with this power box. Now, the way it's sounding, I hear a little bit of punch in there, so I think I can get a kick out of that using a few plugins. Let's go in, throw some plugins on this boy. So what I did is I pulled up the great parametric EQ from FL, and I just created a bell curve about 134 Hertz to boost that low end just a little bit, just a punch. Of course, this is my favorite plugin to use on kicks. Fab Filter Saturn II. I use this a lot when I'm sound designing drums. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm increasing the drive to clip the sound a little bit, and then I'm going to the low end and tone section and making it a little bit more sub sounding. And last but not least, I pull in Bull Submachine, increase the drive a little bit. Something about as soon as Safari Pedals plugins turn on, you just hear a difference like right away. So this Bull Submachine right here on this kick, it just brought it out a lot. You see how that sound? Now this is without. Come on. That's crazy already. Let's take this utensil from the donut shop. So my initial thoughts here when I use this utensil clap was to try to make this into an 808 clap to see if I can match the kick drum. I went in the audio editor and I created the frequency that matches a clap. After that, I created a new clip, brought it back in, turned on parametric EQ, and then I EQ'd my sound just a little bit to get that clap the way that I wanted it to be. And last but not least, fast distortion, give it a little bit of crunch at the end, and this is what we got. Woo! You hear that clap? We on to something now. And so to make it a little bit more West, I duplicated that clap and I had to add this right here. Yeah. That's it. Oh yeah. Come on now. That sounded good already. All right, so I took the panel box right here. I sampled a few different versions of this panel box. And just to add some background instrumentation and a little bit of a feel at the end, this is what I came up with. That's crazy. The drums are sounding real good. All right, so for the panel box, I went in Valhalla, added a little bit of reverb to it because I didn't like the way that it was cut. I feel like sounds got to drag out a little bit more. And since I'm in traffic, since I'm in the streets, you don't always get a clean sound. So the best way to fix this is to add a little bit of reverb and make it drag out yourself. After that, threw on the LA3A compressor. This is one of my favorite compressors just because it's just simple to use. Then I brought in parametric EQ and I cut a lot of low end, a lot of low end. And then I put a flanger on it to just make it sit in the mix a little bit more. All right, so where we at with it? Yeah. That's hard. All right, the water pipe. The one thing that I had no idea what I was gonna do when I was creating this. I was thinking to myself, there's two ideas that I have for this. Thinking that this is a West Coast beat, I could turn this water pipe into a hat, or I could turn it into like a little 808 crash in the end. So, all right, so let's see how it sounds. All right, so for this one, I wanted it to be a little bit more on the high frequency side. I pretty much cut all of that low end frequency to just focus on the high end. since I'm turning this into a hi-hat. Then I added a bell curve, boosted it up a lot, and this is what we came up with. Pretty simple. And so I came in the envelope and shortened the sound to just make it hit just a little bit like a hi-hat. So now we onto the crash. With the same sound, with a lot of what the sound is already doing, if I increase the high frequency and then I start to cut it in certain parts, maybe it'll turn into one of those West Coast crashes. So I took this water pipe, cut all the low end again, just focus on the mids, and then I put a bell curve on the high frequency. And from here, I went into Saturn, and it's something that I learned from somebody on YouTube, where if you increase this dynamics a lot, it'll give you that vintage analog top end. Then I went in, cut the sound that matches the kick, and then here we go. That's hard. So I went back in and added a few more sounds. So I grabbed the trash lock and the power box to create this. That just brought the feel out just a little bit more to me. All right, so let's go to the music. So we got the crosswalk button from earlier. I went in, I stretched it, and then I turned the time stretch halfway down, pitch range all the way down. So I was able to get a sound like this. All right, so I can easily create melodies with this now. So this is what I came up with. All right, that sounded really good. All right, so with the effects, I use Filter Freak. Filter Freak has this one sound here that I've always liked. I've used it in a lot of placements. It's called Band Chaser. Something about the way that that sound hits, I don't know. I've used it, like I said, in so many of my placements. It's always something that is just ear candy in the background. So I hate to give away one of my pieces of sauce, but you know, you're welcome. After that, I came in and did a low and high cut frequency to just focus on mids. Added halftime because halftime and gross beat is goated, and I turned the mix down to 24%, so I was able to get both sounds out of it. And this is what it sounds like. That sound I've used so many times, and you would never hear it, but you hear it, if that makes sense. All right, so I duplicated that sound. I added semantics illusion. Something about this, I only use one sound in here a lot, and I think it just comes out so great. Of course, FL spreader, because I wanted my sound a little bit more wide. Finished it off with the LA3A, and then that's what we got. That's nice. Okay, all right, now let's throw it on with the drums. Yeah, that sounds good already. All right, so the next thing we add, I need something in the background. It's coming together. I take one sound and I make everything with it. So the whole thing is pretty much the crosswalk. So I took that crosswalk button again and I created a bass lead. Yep. That's hard. All I did for that was just pitch the sound down and clean it up. So I feel like it sounded good. FL Sampler is goated. You gotta use it more. It's goated. It has everything that you need in there. Got effects, LFOs, all of that. You can do whatever you want to in FL Sampler. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that, but it is goated, okay? So I went in, changed the polyphony, made it mono sounding, and I increased the slide. I increased the glide a little bit. So it gave me that little, see that? All right, so we missing like one sound. I think that's it. I need something with some bottom. Bruh. Pause. Whoa. So remember that blower that I said I needed earlier? I might try to make an 808 out of this. So this is where I say I can't show you the sauce. Trust me on this one. It's something that I do. I've been creating 808s out of weird sounds lately. I don't know how it happened, but wow. All right, so this is what I came up with. Oh my God. You hear that? Man, I think that's kind of hard. All I gotta do is set it up. I think that beat is ready to go. And I think I hit my mark. I made a West Coast vibe. Now this is a first for me. I've never made a West Coast beat like this to this magnitude out of one of my Nat-ure Average episodes. It's very difficult a lot of times to go with different genres, but that's the goal, right? Like we don't want to keep doing the same thing. We want to make sure that we're doing more styles, more sounds. We're tweaking more sounds into more sounds. We're creating this little fusion of just everything. Wow, that's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Came through in a clutch on that one right there. I'm telling you, I can make anything out of anything. All you gotta do, man, just put your mind to it. Have fun. That's what Nat-ure Average is about. You gotta get out, have fun, experience it. You know, I wanted to take a walk, have my nephew in town. He's downstairs resting right now, obviously, because that 8 miles. But
I had to make sure that I came in and stayed in the flow. Came home, showered real quick. I haven't even eaten yet. Had to get to this beat because I wanted to make sure that I can get this idea out. I knew what I was going to do halfway in. I just didn't know if I was going to be able to execute it. And you know, sometimes I fail on certain sounds. Sometimes I grab sounds and I think that they're going to sound really good on the beat, and I'll just save it for later, thinking that maybe I'll be able to come back to it and finally find a home for it. I'm kind of proud of myself right there. I'm actually impressed. I ain't gonna lie. You know, Swift, sometimes you be impressing yourself, my boy. You know, you all right. All right, so let's recap. My nephew flew in from Houston, Texas a few days ago. Said he wanted to shoot a Nat-ure Average episode with me. In order to do that, we gotta work out every single day. So what do? We combine both of them. Today we walked 12,000 steps, something that I just started getting into myself. Not only is it good for your body and your mental health, something that I like to prioritize myself, it's also really good to take in new ideas and new experiences from other places, instead of just confining yourself to your computer, to your MIDI keyboard, to things that you just live in all day long. A lot of times we just live in our spaces too long and we get that creative burnout. So what I like to do myself when I get a burnout is I like to just go start from scratch somewhere, collect some sounds, see what type of stuff comes up. Earlier in my career, I watched a lot of artists travel overseas to record their albums. I didn't really understand why, as the American sound was the sound that everybody was chasing, but it was the experience that they would get overseas and in other places that would spark new ideas for them. And that's why Nat-ure Average is very important to me, because it puts me in spaces where I would never think about anything creatively, but I forced myself to think about something in a music manner. It allowed me to hear frequency and hear sound everywhere. Sound has no limits, and I shouldn't have any limits. I'm one with the earth when I create music, and this is my way of telling my story and creating my journey through frequency and through sound. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all really enjoyed this just as much as I enjoyed creating it. And before I go, I want to thank my nephew, Noe Jr. Like I said, he's downstairs asleep. That boy walked 8 miles a day. Woo! And of course, it was just really great just bonding with my nephew and taking him around the city, exploring new heights that he's never seen before. All my new subscribers, I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. This is so fun to do, and it's so dope to see y'all enjoy it just as much as I enjoy creating it for y'all. Now, I enjoy hanging with y'all. I enjoy talking to y'all, but it's about time to eat. It's about time for me to break my fast. So I'm going to tap in with y'all next week. Come back next week. New episodes every week. It's going to be a vibe. Trust me. You ain't going to want to miss this one. All right? Peace.